Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz. It's Monday night. My name is Nick and we are getting all set for round number 2 of season 3 of 2024. This week we are in Laguna Seca. So we're staying with the North American theme. We were in Coda last week. So we'll do a quick little revision of that. And then we'll all be set, ready to go. This one is not too far away from getting started. So, as mentioned, it is round number 2 of 9. So last week was at Coda, this week at Laguna Seca. Next week we're in Hungary. But having a look at the winner from last week. So the pro class winner was Andrew Lawrenson. So he did a fantastic job in the Lamborghini this season. He did put it on pole position, led mostly from the front, wasn't really challenged too much. He was just a step above last week, so he put his first win in the books for the season, so big congrats to him. Adrian Rice was the silver class winner last week. He finished 9th overall. He had some track violations that he was quite nervous about there at the end of the race, so he was putting in some pretty cautious laps there, but in the Ford Mustang, first round out, and Adrian Rice managed to take home the silver class victory, so big congrats to him. And yeah, overall 9th. He was running 8th in the last seconds there. And then for the AM class winner, it was Wally Masterson. So he actually had a bit of a spin. He did have a spin at the very start of the race. And I think he was pretty much plumb last after virtually turn 1. So he managed to regain his composure and he came home, took home the AM class victory. So congratulations to Wally Masterson. So in terms of the championship standings, this is how it looks for the pro division, if you like. So it's Andrew Lawrenson, as mentioned, pole position last week, converted that into a race win. Max Ricker did provide a fair bit of a challenge though, so he tried the best that he could, but just wasn't quite enough there to take home the victory. Paul Russell was elevated to 3rd after the race, so Benjamin Hignett dropped a couple of spots. He was the original podium sitter in 3rd position, but a post-race review by the Trusted Drivers panel, he suffered some penalty points, and he was demoted to P5. P4 is James Pierre-Reid, so he had a really solid outing last week in the Honda, so a good start for him. As mentioned, Hignett from 3rd to 5th. Matt Frost in the BMW, he finished in 6th position last week. James Mack in 7th in the Porsche, getting to grips with that. Vinny Canero, both he and James Mack had a cracking battle all the way to the very end. James Mack just pipped him on the line there to take 9th as mentioned. Adrian Rice in the Ford and the silver class victor, and rounding out the top 10 is Mitch Hayes. So that's the overall and the pro drivers. In terms of the silver class runners, so as mentioned, Adrian Rice took out the victory there for the class. Neil Fakeney in P2 in class as well, so he had a good run last week. Peter Wall wasn't too far behind him, and then you had Mark Hurley and Chris Hildebrand, who has a new livery for this evening, which I will be showing you in the not too distant future. In terms of AM, as mentioned, Wally Masterson, it's nice to chat to him last week in the post race. So he found out he's an older gentleman, 63 I think he was, so 60 years of age. Let's go with 60, I don't want to age him. But that was nice to chat with him there post-race. So yeah, he was the AM class winner. Herbertron there in 2nd position. He had a good run last week, did Herbertron, so it was good to see him up there. Lee Perkins there in 3rd position in AM. And then you've got Mark Stevens and Mike Lewin rounding out the top 5 there. In terms of driver ballast, so you can see there, Andrew Lawrenson has 6 kilos, Max Ricker has 4, Paul Russell 3, and Adrian Rice who was saying that it's very unusual for him to be experiencing success ballast, but new season, new him. In terms of penalty points, we've already had a few drivers pick some up. So Mike Lewin, Chris Hildebrand and Benjamin Hignett all picked up 15 points and 10 points to Benjamin Hignett. In terms of where we are this week, so as mentioned, last week was in Coda. We're in Laguna Seca this week. We'll have to excuse the janky track map, but necessity is the mother of invention, and so I managed to actually put this together. But this is a good track, good little track. Only 11 turns, 3.6 kilometres. So it does pack a bit of a punch. You've got the famous corkscrew there up at the back of the circuit. Always provides plenty of spectacular action up there. And we've got a lot of little mini sausage curbs as well, so keep an eye out for. But it is only 11 turns, 3.6 kilometres. It does pack a bit of a punch though, so looking forward to getting this one started very, very shortly. One of the features of this track is obviously the corkscrew hairpin, if you like. 55 metres of elevation change, so you're constantly working up to the highest point of the circuit, which is the corkscrew, and then you're heading down to complete the lap. Hello to everyone as well in the chat there. Heather Russell is in there, Paulie's in there too. Going to be a close one tonight. Top 10 within 1 second. Yeah, let's have a look, shall we, at how things are shaping up right now. And you can see there, just in the dying stages of free practice, and it's Andrew Lawrenson currently sitting atop of the timesheets at 22.905. So looking good right now is Andrew Lawrenson, and so we'll see if he can continue that run of form as free practice is coming to an end. Where is it? Chris Hildebrand. So there is a little bit of a story behind this livery tonight. So what was it? So it's a play on the famous phrase from Lamborghini himself. It says, "You drive a Ferrari when you want to be someone. You drive a Lamborghini when you are someone." So I thought that was quite nice, and there was an artist that's helped him out, who he said will be watching this evening. So whoever that is, I hope you are watching, and I hope you're enjoying seeing your finished product there on the screen. As Chris Hildebrand, one of the few drivers that are out there right now to finish their lap, but looking like, Andrew Lawrenson was fastest in free practice. Chris Hildebrand will be finishing his lap, a few others out there, and once that's all done, and his lap might be done by the looks of that, it is Neil Fakeney as well, just getting in his last few turns of the steering wheel before we get things underway for round number 2 of season 3 of 2024. Looking forward to this one. Another good healthy grid, 20 cars out there. We'll be hoping Nando Latenzio can make the start after last week his pedals decided to do their software reset or update, whatever it was. So not good for him. As we go back to here, and here we go, cars all making their way out onto the circuit. I think Vin Quinero does make a bit of a habit of trying to get out on circuit the first. He often is the first car out on track, as he is this evening. So plenty of cars joining him for this quick 15-minute qualifying session. Setting the grid. Track at the moment is fast conditions, so not optimal yet. Track is 31. Air temperature is 25 degrees. So nice and sunny. Not expecting any weather, at least judging by the radar there at the top of the screen. Let's see how they go. Plenty of motorsport over the weekend, which is always fun. They had the iRacing. Was it the iRacing Spa 24 hour? Because the Spa 24 hour is this weekend. The real life 24 hour. Lots of enduro racing going on in the recent few weeks, a month or so. What else did they have? F1s were on. There's plenty of GT racing. I think there's GT racing at Fuji this weekend. So we're in full swing of the motorsport season. And plenty of action to keep you occupied on the weekend if you have a spare bit of time. Plenty of stuff out there. Looking forward to the Spa 24 hour this weekend. That should be a lot of fun. Here's James Pierre Reid. Got his livery this week. Had some difficulty downloading it last week, but managed to get that up, which is always good. Jack Steele. He is going to... this will be his first race of the season. Wasn't here last week. As Vinny Canero, see him they're sliding that McLaren in the background. So he's going to be the first car to set a fast lap, a 1:22.905 was the time set by Andrew Lawrenson. So we'll see how close Canero can get to that. All cars out on track, bar one. Nando Latenzio is the only car in the pits at the moment. There he is. He'll hopefully be heading out on circuit very, very shortly. As the rest of the field are out there. Canero just making his way down through the corkscrew. It's tight left-hander. Turn 10, you see those little mini sausage curbs and catch you out pretty easily. Canero though, he's managing to avoid all of them at the moment, and he is going to cross the line. A 1:22.495, so good start from him. Terry Rayton his way across the line. Matt Frost will be the next one. Chris Hildebrandt across the line. Lawrenson has set a time as well. Not the fastest time yet. Vinny Canero sets a time of 22.495. Is his fastest time as Mark Stevens heads across the line. Here's Wally Masterson, the AM class victor from last week. He'll be setting his first time lap in the Ferrari. Here comes Mark Hurley, the Rebel Racing, that Pennzoil Ferrari. Nice livery of the season so far, you would have to say. Here's Jack Steele setting his first lap. 22.495 is the fastest time. Jack Steele goes to 23.140. So nice work from him. James Mack. Oh, we'll stick with Max Ricker actually. He's got the BMW up ahead of him. I think that's Matt Frost. What happened to Max Ricker there? Yeah, we've got a newcomer. He's at 21 now. Not sure who the extra one was. Anyway, we'll stick with Max. Second last week, and he won't be setting the fuse on his fast lap as of yet, so we might head over to where's James Mack? I think it was he is invalidated his lap. We'll stick with Mark Stevens. So fourth in class last week. I think he had a couple of spins as well, so it's quite uncharacteristic for him, but he's invalidated his lap just at the last couple of turns, so good for him. Here's Andrew Lawrenson. Let's have a look at his progress. He's got Terry Rayton in the forward just up ahead of him. All cars out on the track, so it's a busy circuit right now. 21 cars are out there. So the final car made their way out of the pits. Nando Latenzio is out of the pits. He's on a fast lap right now. Come on board though with Andrew Lawrenson. So he's our pole sitter at this stage of 22.165, so 8/10 faster, almost 8/10 faster than what we saw in free practice. Circuit's still fast, so we're not at optimum just yet. Air temperature 25, he's at 30. That's his way under the rear wing of the floor, giving him a bit of a braking marker. He's a couple of tenths up on his best time, so he's going to improve right now. 21.980. So the first car into the 21s. Here's Paul Russell. His fastest is 22.922. And that will remain his fastest time. Matt Frost doesn't improve. What about Mark Stevens? We're on board with him earlier on. Let's see him complete his lap. He will pop up to P11. So a good start there for Mark Stevens. He'll be wanting to make up for last week, I'd be thinking. Here's Herbertron. His way across the line. He improves on his time. Goes up into P12. Nice work from him. Adrian Rice, last week's silver class winner. 16th as he sits. 14th now. Mike Lewin, he is down on his best time, so he will not be improving at this stage. Benjamin Hignett, so it's a couple of tenths the difference. Just getting a little bit loose there through the corkscrew. That's knocked a bit of time off, so he looks like he's boarding that lap. Come back to him a little bit later. Let's go to the pole sitter because he's going around again. He's dead even with his best time. Arthur Lawrenson is usually in the chat and watching. Gave us a good little story about Arthur last week and the sort of getting him into all things motorsport. So it was nice to hear a little bit about that, about Arthur Lawrenson. Here's Matt Frost though, P9, and that is good as we get right now. What about Chris Hildebrandt in that newly liveried 111 Lamborghini? Good enough for P12, so nice work there from Chris Hildebrandt. He is second in class right now. Mark Stevens giving it to them in the Ferrari, highest of the AM drivers, and he tops all silver drivers as well. So good to see him having a good run. Here's Wally Masterson, last week's AM winner. Moves up into P15. Mark Hurley remains there in 17th position. He's out there on a decent lap. Jack Steele was a 10th down on his best time. What about Paul Russell? Let's see what he's got for us. We're over the halfway mark through qualifying. His action's been pretty thick and fast. The laps come at you pretty quickly around here. 80 odd seconds and it's done. Andrew Lawrenson sits atop of the timesheets. Hignett, Ricker, Canero, Rayton, Hayes, Russell, Frost, Steele and Atron. And Herbertron is the highest of the AM drivers. Neil Fakeney is the highest of the silver drivers. So Herbertron is having a cracking start so far in the opening couple of rounds of this season. Paul Russell elevates himself up there into P6. Here is the man I was speaking of, Herbertron. And he was up on his best time. Maybe he got distracted there a little bit by Canero just aborting his lap. So he'll have to go again. He's still got a little bit of time, just a tick under 6 minutes. Here's Mark Hurley, 3/10 up on his best time. Can he sneak up a spot here? We'll have to wait and see. Adrian Rice just in the background there as Hurley crosses the line. Decent time from him. Good enough for P16, so a 10th to go. There's a fair hefty gap between he and the car in front. We pick up Hignett where we picked him up last time. Car acting in a very similar way, so not afraid to absolutely throw it through the corkscrew chicane is Benjamin Hignett. Unfortunately, a couple of tenths down on his best time, trying to make up some ground in the final turn. Not quite. So P2 is his best for right now. What about Matt Frost? He's up by 2.5 tenths. We'll be able to elevate him a spot just above Mitch Hayes in the Ferrari. And there is a bloody lot of Ferraris in the field. There's 8 of them, in fact. Frost, he does not elevate himself above the Ferrari ahead of him, so let's have another crack at it. Neil Fakeney just getting a little bit loose there out of turn 10. Down there in 14th position right now. I wonder if it was Mac who might have been having some issues getting in and out of the server, perhaps, not too sure. Andrew Lawrenson, he is not going to set a faster time than what he has already on that particular lap. Hignett going again. We'll catch up with him in a moment. Here's Jack Steele. He's sitting in ninth position right now. This could elevate him up a few spots. Onto the second row of the grid, P3, Jack Steele. Welcome to the party. Nice work from him. Something's going on with Max Ricker's timing at the moment. Not too sure what's happening there. Hopefully he gets that sorted out. He is Chris Hildebrandt. He's half a second up on his best time, so I'll be able to elevate him up a spot as he runs a little bit wide, and that is too wide, and that is a decent old whack into the tyre bundle there. So Fakeney is down on his best time. Let's go to Terry Rayton because he's up right now, currently sitting in P6. He had early damage last week at the start of the race that he had to just nurse that car to the first pit stop. So he'll be hoping for that to not happen again tonight as he moves up onto the second row of the grid in P4. So it's where you'd expect to see Terry Rayton. Mark Hurley moves up into 14th position. Here's Lee Perkins. He's 1.5 tenths up on his best time. That wouldn't be able to be enough to elevate him from his 17th position. Let's see how he finishes this lap with just a tick over 2.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Perkins improves his time, but not quite enough to snatch a position away from Adrian Rice, who's the car just ahead of him. They're all chasing this man though. Andrew Lawrenson, the only driver into the 21s, 1:21.980. Is his best time of the session and the fastest time so far. As mentioned, really, really healthy grid. 21 cars, fantastic to see. As Lawrenson just down slightly on his best time. Here's Ricker. Can he improve? No, he can't. So good enough for P5 only at this stage. He is Mitch Hayes, and that is not going to improve his time. What about Herbertron, highest of the AM drivers? So the silver class leader, and that's not going to do his cause any good. So despite taking avoiding action, he's actually... no, he's not. He's going to only just marginally improve his time, and P11 is where he will stay for now. Here's Vinny Canero. He was the first car out on circuit. Will he be the last? There's 1:15 remaining in this qualifying session. And he's currently sitting P6 right now. It is Canero, so having a good run of it. 1.5 tenths up on his best time. That'd be enough to elevate him just above Max Ricker. Let's see if he can hold that margin to the line. He does. He goes on the second row of the grid, P3. Nice work there from Vinny Canero. Here's Matt Frost. He's a couple of tenths up on his best time. That'd be enough to leapfrog Hayes in the Ferrari. And he does. Nice work from him. Pierre Reed just almost improving his time, but not quite. He was still there, remaining in P12. Here's Max Ricker. He moves up into P5. Nice work from him. Andrew Lawrenson with less than 30 seconds remaining in the session, marginally improving his time by 200ths of a second. Let's see if he can extend that margin a little bit more through the final turn. He made up about a tenth in that final corner. He is going to improve his time. He goes a 1:21.905. So Andrew Lawrenson has that Lamborghini absolutely hooked up. And once again, looking very, very hard to beat at this stage. Here's Mark Stevens. His qualifying time is up. So we've gone to 000. Let's go to Vinny Canero because he's the first car in the line to finish off qualifying. So P3, 1:22.270. Was almost a tenth up on his best time. He will improve, but not enough. So P3 is where he will begin the race. Here's Mark Stevens. He was 0.3 down on his best time. Didn't improve. Here's James Pierre Reed. Can he improve enough to leapfrog? I think he can. He might even get up to about 10th here, I think. He does. Nice work there. A late run from James Pierre Reid. Here's Benjamin Hignett. He's 3/10 off the leader. He was up marginally, less than a tenth though, so not enough to snatch pole position. He will improve his best time, but it's not enough to take away pole position. So P2 is where Benjamin Hignett will begin the race. Here's Neil Fakeney, one of the last cars out on circuit. He won't improve his time, so P15 is where he will remain, and James Pierre Reid. So nice work there from Andrew Lawrenson. Once again, pole position. That's 2 from 2. Last week he converted it into a win. Let's see if he can do that again this evening. The highest of the silver is Chris Hildebrandt. So nice work there from Chris Hildebrandt in the Lamborghini. And then Herbertron. Nice work, Herbertron. In P12 outright. So that is the grid. All set for round number 2 of Laguna Seca. We are going to get this one underway very, very shortly. We'll take a quick break. I will be back in about 2.5 minutes. We'll see if the timer will come up yet. Do we have someone out there? No, I don't think we do. Anyway, yeah, give us a... here we go. Yeah, I'll be back in 2.5 minutes. I'll see you soon. Alright, here we are. We are back. Let's get across here. There we go. Alright, so this is the grid. We're about to get underway on the warm-up lap. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Andrew Lawrenson kicking us off. So 121.905, the second pole position of the season. Benjamin Hignett, it's about 3/10 behind him, so he's sitting in P2 right now in that number 471 McLaren. Vinny Canero, he was the first car out on circuit. He's in P3 right now, so keep an eye on him. I'm feeling he's in for a good evening. Jack Steele in the 996 Aston Martin, good enough for the second row of the grid, sitting there in P4. Max Ricker, a little bit further back than what we're used to seeing him, so maybe just coming to grips with that McLaren sitting there in P5. P6 is Terry Rayton. The camera, for some reason, doesn't really work very well for forwards. Mitch Hayes there, sitting there in 7th position. 8th is that lovely Overline liveried Porsche going to Paul Russell. Matt Frost there, sitting in 9th position in the 666 BMW. James Pierre Reid, it's a much better shot of his livery this week in P10. Chris Hildebrandt sitting there in P11, so number 111 is in 11th. There you go, there's a little bit of numerology for you. Herbertron there, the highest of the AM runners. He's sitting in 12th, 512. There you go. 11th and 12th, 11th and 12th. Mark Stevens sitting there in 13th position in the Ferrari. And then, just for a bit of variety, another Ferrari. A lovely looking Ferrari though. Mark Hurley, sorry. In 14th. 15th is Neil Fakeney in the number 9 BMW. Lee Perkins will begin the race from 16th position. 17th is Wally Masterson. 18th is Mike Lewin. James Mack starting from a long way back. Don't normally see him down there. And we've got 2 cars in the pits. One of them is Adrian Rice, so not a great start for him. And Nando Latanzio sitting there in 21st, so not too sure what happened to those guys as we make our way down the corkscrew chicane. We'll filter through there. Spectacular pictures. We were here, not last season, but the season before, I'm pretty sure. So I believe Terry Rayton took out the victory then. What was he in? Was he in a Ferrari or a Honda? I can't remember. But yeah, I do remember being here not too long ago. Oh, I'm starting to yawn a little bit. I'm tired. What is this? Oh, goodness gracious. Alright. I'm going to definitely stay awake for the race though. So here's Lawrenson leading with he and Hignet. It's a relatively sort of long Peter Ward. Yeah, I was wondering where Wolsey was. Jack was pretty quick at making Wednesday, cracking that by heavy. That's awesome. There you go. So green light. We are racing. It's like Lawrenson got a good start. So did Kinero. Here comes Max Ricker. He started in P5. Terry Rayton closing in, makes a little bit of contact. So a little bit of a repeat of what happened last week. He had early damage. Looks like the rest of the field, James Pierre Reid making a little bit of contact there with Paul Russell as they're heading through turn 3 there. Everyone has managed to get through relatively unscathed. And Adrian Rice and Nando Latanzio just getting their race underway. Here's Jack Steele in P4. So he's just ahead of Max Ricker, who started in P5. Looks like Russell has made a move as well. So Pierre Reid down in 8th position. Looks like Fakeney just dropping back there. He's just run a little bit wide. So let's get this set up for the replay. But, oh, that's Kinero. I put the mocker on him. I said that he might have a good race tonight. Who was it back there? Oh, it was Hignet. Hignet was the one who had the spin. Let's go to the replay. So, oh, he made contact with Kinero, taking evasive action. And Pierre Reid got mixed up in there as well. So, oh, and there was Rayton too. Oh, looks like Russell got caught up too. So, yeah, where's Hignet come out? He's down there in P15. James Pierre Reid has fallen down to 18th position. Hildebrandt's lost a bunch of spots off the start as well. So he started 11th. He's now in P7. And Paul Russell managed to keep his nose relatively clean. He started in 8th. He is in 8th right now. What about Terry Rayton? Did he get any damage? Vinny Kinero He's got a little bit of damage there at the front of the car. Max Ricker going through. So Max Ricker, he started in P3. He now finds himself in P1. But it's an absolute mile behind Andrew Lawrence, who's already opened up a 7-second gap on the chasing pack. So he is absolutely miles in front of these guys right now. They've got plenty of work to do. He was able to avoid all of that, all the shenanigans there at the corkscrew. And there's the field all flowing through. So an action-packed opening couple of laps. Here's Hignett putting the pressure on Lewin. We got a spinner, 56. Where are you, 56, on my screen? Adrian Rice. So talk about from chocolates to boiled lollies. Unfortunate for him. We got a couple of drivers in the pits as well. Jack Steele is one of them, and I think Latenzio was in there as well. No, Mark Hurley was one of the other ones in the pits too. So a couple of drivers just coming in for repairs as Hignett manages to get past Steele. Go to the replay on that. You like the little stinger that I added as well? That's the technical term they like to call it, stinger. Little sort of divider, flip between scenes. Thanks to Crunch, Ian Fakney, for hooking me up with that. There we go. Professional. Here's Terry Rayton in the Laundry House. Ford Mustang. So Canero will have a little bit of damage from that incident earlier. James Pierre Reid just putting the move on Lewin, who's dropping back a little bit further. So Hildebrandt slices through as well. As we go back to the battle at the front here, third and fourth position. See plenty of battle scars there on the rear wing of the Porsche of Kinero. As Rake just struggling to get the Mustang around that corner. Manages to get it done though. He's had plenty of contact there on that rear wing, has Kinero. Doesn't look like it's holding him up necessarily. And the gap, just to remind you, we do actually have a race leader. Oh, that is Latenzio. What's happened? Nando, his season has not got off to a good start here. This is coming into turn 1. He just makes a little bit of contact there with her. Oh, yeah, that was something. TDP might have a little look at that. Between those two, Hignett gets past Masterson, so he continues his rise back up through the field. So P12 is where he's at right now. Frost and Atron. Herbertron up there in P6. Go Herbertron. He's having a great season so far. Albeit it's only 2 races. Hignett, what's happened? Oh, this was the corkscrew. It out of there, and didn't look like he got too wide. Masterson just sneaks through there. Go back to live action in a second. There we go. Where is he? Benjamin Hignett. Yeah, here he is. So is that? No, I was going to say I thought that was Kinera. Then he would have had an issue, and it looks like Mac managed to get past Stevens, so he's had a good start, has James Mack. He's up 3 positions already in P10, so a good start by him. So Rayton hunting down Kinero last lap around 23.4, Rayton did a 23.8, so 4/10 difference. In terms of pace at the front, Lawrenson doing a 1:22, not 2:97, so 22.3 to a 22.9. So he's absolutely just flying at the moment. He's only 4/10 off the pace that we saw in qualifying. So he's at his brilliant best this evening. Terry Reid hunting down Vinny Canero in the meantime. Lap times are a lot closer, only 6/100ths of a second. The difference between the two advantaged Vinny on that previous lap, and then we've got another little close battle going on between Stevens and Perkins. In terms of risers and fallers, the biggest riser right now, I misspoke. It's James Mack is up 10 spots, not 3. I looked at the wrong number there. I got a little bit confused. So great work from James Mack. See things a little bit better. Yeah, he's up 10 spots. And, down 15, unfortunately, is Jack Steele. He started in 4th, currently 19th. So, unfortunate for him, he's our biggest faller so far this evening. It's only been, 8 minutes 20 seconds, so not long has transpired, but we've had plenty of action left, right and centre. In terms of the pit setup this evening, so there's a mandatory stop for fuel. Tyres are optional. Refueling time is fixed at 25 seconds, so considering that a normal fuel and tyre stop will go for 30 seconds, they fixed the time at 25 seconds this evening, so just throwing a little bit of a swerve there in the strategy. As we continue to ride on board there with Vinny Canero, I wouldn't expect to see pit stops for a little bit longer yet, at least probably another 15 to 20 minutes I would say is where we normally see them. So we'll have to just wait and see. Looks like Canero making up some ground right now on Max Ricker as well. So he's closed that to within a second, the gap, and the gap is within a second as well to Terry Reid and Canero. So last lap around, 22.8 to Ricker, 22.660 to Rayton, 22.675 to Rayton. So the drivers within a couple of tenths of each other. Mitch Hayes is trying to catch this group here. You can see him in the red Ferrari in the background. Currently P5, 1.4 seconds off this little group as we see someone just coming out of the pits. I'm not too sure who that was, but not too sure who was in the pits there. But anyway, should be able to find out. It was Hignett. He's made another stop. He's fresh out of the pits. So it's a battle at the front. Now he's come out at a very peculiar position. So he's in 19th right now, and that is a faster car coming through. So that is Hayes. Sparks there. Time's in game 4:17. Well, we might get a little bit of afternoon sunset action towards the end. That'd be nice. So Hignett's done the right thing there. You can see Mitch Hayes has had his fair share of contact with someone or something so far in this one. But yeah, good driving there from Hignett, sensible. Just going to have to treat this as a little 48-minute race inside of a 60-minute race. See how high he can get up. Is he our new furthest faller? I think he is. 17 spots he's dropped. So Jack Steele no longer has the award. Here's Hildebrandt. He started in 11th. He's in 13th. James Pierre Reid. He started in 10th. He's in 14th right now. He's battling it out, going down through turn 2, the Andretti hairpin. What a famous name that is in not just North American motorsport, but just motorsport in general. Mario Andretti, Michael Andretti. I think there's a bunch of them. Isn't it? I think there's even an Andretti racing in IndyCar at the moment. I'm not exactly 100% sure. As looks like Fakeney and Lewin have swapped positions. So here's Lewin leading Fakeney. This is coming through turn 4, the right-hander. Yep. And he's kind of just like let him through there. So pretty easy for Neil Fakeney in the silver class. How good's the Stinger? Do you like it? I like it. I'm quite proud of it actually. Oh, here we go. Oh, Vinny Canero, what happened? Let's see. Oh, he's just... That looks like it's an equipment failure. He's... I reckon, yeah, that is big time equipment failure because he's not stopping and he looks like he just can't turn. So something's gone wrong there and that's his race done. So he's in 15th position. This is live images where he's at. So unfortunately for him, that looks like it is race over. Where's he? He's just down the Andretti hairpin. Still there right now. So yeah, that's terrible luck for him, and that's his race done. He's teleported back to the pits. Getting back to the action on track. We're not too far away from the quarter-way mark, and this is Pierre Reid looking to put a move on Wally Masterson as they go through the corkscrew. And nice driving there from James Pierre Reid. Gets the job done. Let's have a look at the replay, shall we? Cam will give us a bit more of a better look at it there. There we go. Oh, very deep under brakes. Nice work there. Pierre Reid gets the job done. And on with his race as we go back to live images. Back to the action on track. So, Ricca... saying that they've swapped positions, Lawrence and Ricca. I'm not too sure if that's a little some kind of glitch because it's still 10 seconds the gap. So has Lawrence pitted? No, he hasn't. Not too sure what was going on there. Anyway, Lawrence continues to lead this one. 10 seconds is the gap. So Ricca, Rayson, Hayes and Frost. Then it's Russell, Atron, Max, Stevens and Perkins. Herbertron continues to lead the AM class, so he's going one better. He finished second in class last week. He's looking to go that one extra step up. Great to get him on the stream for a chat afterwards. A long way still to go though, 45 minutes in fact, but 44 and a half to be exact. We're having a look at Russell and Frost battling it out for 5th and 6th. Last lap around, Frost did a 23.160, 23.030 to Paul Russell. So a little bit faster, 1.5 tenths as Hildebrand gets the move done on Wally Masterson. Let's see, we can have a look at how that happened. Where's this? That's coming through turn 10, I think. Yeah. And he's going to send it up the inside of turn 11, the left-hander. He does. Wally Masterson gives him plenty of room. And Chris Hildebrand now moves to P12, one spot from where he begun the race 16 odd minutes ago. And then Paul Russell there will go back to him. So a huge gap between P1 and P2 right now. Andrew Lawrenson is doing pretty easy out front, 2/10 faster on that previous lap from Max Ricca, 22.582, 22.787 to Ricca. So Lawrenson has this one well at hand, looking to go 2 from 2 to start the season. Two pole positions, 2 wins. Long way still to go in this one. Kind of the rule of the golden rule of commentating is You want to keep the viewers interested. You don't want to give them you don't want to talk about it not being a race anymore. Heather Russell in the chat cheering on Paul. Peter Waugh, I think Bristol take tyres, drop off as massive in practice. Looks super professional, Nick. Thanks, Peter Waugh. Thank you. I've always wanted to do it, I just didn't have a high res enough graphics. So thanks to Neil Fakey for that. As we're watching, Russell continues to hunt down Frost. These two be pretty familiar with each other. They've done plenty of racing on the same bit of tarmac. Track's at optimum, 32 degrees track temperature. I love that. That is such a good feeling when you absolutely nail that that corkscrew, and for a second there you see nothing but blue sky. That's when you know you've absolutely nailed it. So, Paul Russell, great job. And we're watching him, so Heather Russell will be cheering him on. He finished last week, Paul Russell. He was in 5th on circuit, and he was elevated to 3rd, so good result for him in the end. 5th was good, but podium's always a little bit better than a 5th, I'm sure. So he's just holding steady right now. It's very fine margins between these two, but they're the closest cars on track. How's Hignett going? So he's now 18th. That is ahead of him. That is Mitch Hayes. So a faster car. Hayes doing a great job. He's up there in 4th position right now. So Hignett continuing to battle on in that Pit Viper Space 69 McLaren entry. Lovely livery as well. Whole space vibe going on. The Pit Viper on the top of the car and the front and the side and everywhere else. Very popular sunglasses. You know, sunglasses that you don't necessarily see as much anymore. Oakley. I know they're still around, but it used to be the pair of sunglasses. Now there's more options these days. Did see Vinny Caniero in the pit, so he's still in the room. But yeah, his race is done with some sort of, looked like it was some sort of equipment failure for sure. Other cars that are relatively close, James Mack and Herbtron, as we've just ticked over a 3rd race distance. Herbtron continuing to lead the AM class, so doing a great job. J-Mac just hunting him down. He was 9/10 faster on the previous lap, so a 23.10, 24.0, so 9/10 faster was Mac on that previous lap. So Herbtron got a bit of work to do here. His closest class rival is Mark Stevens, who's in their 9th position, so a couple of spots behind, and Lee Perkins is right in there with him as well. So that's the AM podium as it stands. And then the AM, sorry, not the AM, the silver class is being led by Chris Hildebrandt in outright P12. Fakeney is 2nd in class in 14th, and Mark Hurley in 19th outright. He rounds out the silver class. Last lap around. Herbtron just picking up the pace a little bit. 23.7 to a 23.3. So still 4/10 advantage. The 623 Porsche, James Mack. Lovely presented Porsche it is this season as well. The Red Rebel Racing entry said that he was still coming to grips with the Porsche, and it is a very acquired taste. It does take a little while to get used to driving the Porsche. You see Herbtron just running a little bit wide there. The gap under a second, and also Paul Russell. So it looks like Hignett has moved through these guys as well. He and Mitch Hayes. So, and Hignett, yep, doing the right thing. This is seen some very good courteous driving from Hignett this evening. So, you know, you sometimes see drivers, definitely not in this league, but it's not uncommon to see drivers that are down that far in the field, and they are a relatively fast driver. They can tend to make life a little bit difficult for other drivers around them, but no such thing happening this evening with Benjamin Hignett. So good driving that deserves to be called out. Very sensible as well by him. So still circulating 18th position. He's going to continue to battle away at that. In the meantime, Mack has closed up ever closer to Herbertron. Now about half a second is the gap between the two. He was half a second faster on that previous lap as well. So he's got the rabbit just up ahead in his sights. Herbertron got a bit of work to do here. Let's see how James Mack goes through the corkscrew. Lovely. Too soon there, but you know, all's well that ends well. Lost a little bit of time there, so here's Mitch Hayes. He's making his way into the pits. I did see last week James Pierre Reid showed a replay. I didn't know that on the replays it shows your pit animation. So you don't get that when you're in spectator mode. That would be cool if you did, but you don't. Hignett just getting a tyre there on the dirt. So Russell, half a second the gap between he and Frost. Last lap around, he was about a tenth faster than the 666. So he's just chipping away at it little bit by little bit. Not too far away from the halfway mark of this one. So they make their way through turn 6 up the Rahal straight. Named after, is it Graham Rahal? Bobby Rahal? Rahal's quite a famous name in North American motorsport. Looks like Lewin and Hayes have swapped positions, because is Mitch Hayes coming in again? He is. This is going to be his second stop. No, he's coming out. Sorry. He's coming out. I'm like, goodness gracious, what happened there? All right, so he's coming out of the pits. So he's coming out in 15th position. Got some other cars that are getting a little bit closer on circuit. One of them is Russell, who's continuing to chip away. He's 3 tenths down, though, on that previous lap. James Mack made up plenty of ground, but can't quite get the job done, as Mark Stevens is coming into the pits. So starting to see some pit stops materialising here. Tristo Yellen. Welcome, Tristo. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I figured as well. Peter Wall, that you only see the pit crew for your car in the replay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It would be cool though if you did see other cars. Here we go. More action in the pits. Here's Andrew Lawrenson. So he's making his stop. Hits the marks. Terry Rayton will take over the lead, because Max Ricker, last season's defending champion, he's making his way in the pits as well. So he's following the same strategy as our leader, Andrew Lawrenson. Looks like it's about a minute. Seems to be about par time this evening. Wait and see how these guys fare. It's been 45 seconds so far for Lawrenson and counting. Hildebrand is in the pits now as well, so he's making his stop. Looks like Lawrenson is away, and that looks like it was a pretty nifty stop. 1 minute and 1 second was the time spent in pit lane total. So he is going to come out just behind Wally Masterson by the looks of things, and that's Neil Fakeney coming through. There you go. There's Fakeney in the background, and Andrew Lawrenson will get on with his business now. Here's Paul Russell, still chasing Matt Frost. So these guys are second and third right now. Terry Reid is a de facto race leader, but he is yet to pit, as is the top 7 so far, and 8 of the top 10. No, 9 of the top 10, in fact, yet to pit. This man ticks one of those off though. So Paul Russell making his way into the pits. So as mentioned, 1 minute and 1 second is the par time. Looks like this evening, as we having a look here at Pierre Reid. He went long in his strategy last week, so he left it to the last possible moment and ended up paying relatively dividends for him. P4 last week in round 1, so good to see a good result for James Pierre Reid, and glad that I got his livery this week too. Looks nice and clean. I'm digging it. Simple and clean. Who else is out there? So Russell getting out of pits now. That seemed like it was a long stop, but it wasn't. It was a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A minute 6. Ricker was in there for a minute 4. A minute 1 was Lawrenson. A minute 1 was Hayes. Hignett did his in a minute 1 as well. So a little bit longer in the pits than Russell would have liked. Maybe he missed his stop there. I don't think he didn't have any visible damage. Looks like he needed to repair, but nonetheless, Rayton is in the pits, as is Matt Frost. So, and that is someone else ducking off. That's Perkins heading into the pit lane. So that means this man here, James Mack, he's our race leader, everyone. So let's give him a bit of screen time in the lead. Stop the count. Call the race now. James Mack. Herbertron up in P2. Ooh. Oh, that didn't look good. Oh, you give a man a rap, and that's what happens. Watch this. You see, this is one of the little mini sausage curbs. Here we go. On the exit. Gets a little bit of dirt. And then this is where we cut away from. I cut away and then just clip the inside, upset it. And that Porsche wants to spin around like a big pendulum with the engine in the back. And that's where we find him now in P3. So, James Mack, that'll put a bit of a dent in his race. Was leading it momentarily. Now just dropped down into P3. Here's Hayes. So he has made his pit stop. Only drivers on circuit not to have made a pit stop is the top 3. That's Herbertron, James Pierre Reid, and James Mack. We've ticked over halfway. We have another 29 minutes remaining. Here's our race leader, Herbertron, coming into the pits. So is James Pierre Reid, and so is James Mack. So the final 3 drivers to make their stops have all come in line astern. Mitch Hayes making his way through, and this man has his name at the top of the tables once again, an all too familiar name. Here's Max Ricker. So he's got Mack, Atron and Reid in the pits. Mack 30 seconds. He was in there as well, so those guys still got plenty of time to go. Pierre Reid was in there for a little while. No, he's going to be at about. He's going to be on the par. Herbertron is going to be about par. 4-5, a minute 5. Reed was a minute 1, and James Mack a minute 6. Okay, so bit of discrepancy there in the times. As we get back to the action on the track, this is Mitch Hayes. He's hunting down the Ford Mustang, one of 2 Mustangs in the field this evening. That's Terry Rayton. He doesn't have a livery uploaded either. I double checked it today just to make sure. He doesn't have anything in there. So can we see the flames there? Let's see if we can have a look. The flames at the back of the McLaren. Oh, I'm not going to see it. Well, that's disappointing. Anyway, back to live images. This is Hildebrand, who was just passed by Hignett. So Benjamin Hignett has now moved himself up into P11. So after starting the race in P2, he dropped all the way back to the rear of the field. Now has worked his way up into P11. So making up a little bit of ground. Just trying to salvage some points in this one. He's 3.9 seconds away from Lee Perkins, who's only a second away from this man on track, James Pierre Reid. So Hignett, see how high he can get up in the next 26 odd minutes. In the meantime, James Pierre Reid's going to put the pressure on Herbertron, who is our AM leader. He's the highest of the AM and the silver class right now. So he's having a fantastic run in that Ferrari. He's got Pierre Reid in the rear view mirror though, so he's going to have to work hard to keep him behind. And Lee Perkins as well, so he's second in class, so there's a little bit more at stake with not the car behind, but the car behind him. So going to be the battle for the class lead between Herbertron and Lee Perkins. They've just got James Pierre Reid there in between them. He's the meat in the sandwich right now. Stick with this battle because it is 2 of the closest cars on circuit. Here's Pierre Reid making a bit of a run out of the corkscrew, going around the outside. Gets the job done. That's going to open it up now for Perkins as well. So just trying to be a bit of an opportunist there and take advantage of the situation, see if he could catch Herbertron napping, but not quite. So this is now a straight up fight between 2 cars for the AM class lead. And these 2 are in the top 10 as well, 9th and 10th. So fantastic drive from these 2 AM drivers. They don't want to get too good though, because then they get put up the class. But yeah, doing a fantastic job. In terms of silver class, it's Chris Hildebrand. He started in 11th. He's currently P12. He's got James Mack for company right now. Last lap around, Hildebrand did a 23.750. And Mack was about a 10th faster on that previous lap. A good thing for Hildebrand, he's got a 3/10 gap. So James Mack not able to get past at the moment. It's probably hurt his race a little bit, that spin that he had. We see him getting on the dirt there as well as he was coming out of turn 5. So he's pushing his luck at this stage. As we're on the downward part of the race in terms of time. 24 minutes left still to go, so still more than a third race distance, which would be music to this man's ears. Have a good little battle going on, brewing at the moment between Max Ricker, last year's champion, and Terry Rayton, who finished, I believe, was it top 3 in the championship. So 2 quality drivers going at it. Mitch Hayes, he's had a good race tonight. Mitch Hayes started in 7th position, currently up there in 4th. He's knocking on the door of a podium. And yeah, these 2 can't afford to make a mistake because Mitch Hayes will swoop and pounce on any opportunities that come his way. In the meantime, Terry Rayton is going to continue to put all the pressure on the McLaren. I've got to say though, that how good does the Mustang look? That the front of it looks unbelievable. Oh, I thought that was a disconnect then. Max Ricker just like disappeared for a second. It's named after Bobby Rahal. There you go. Thanks, Arthur Lawrenson. Sorry, I'm a bit slow on the chat at the moment. I've got to get my computer situation sorted out so I can be a little bit more engaged with the audience. As Mark Stevens makes his way up to 14th position, back to Perkins and Herbitron. They've got Hignett behind them as well, so this is all 4 position. So Benjamin Hignett's been working his way back through the field. He started right up the front, and Vinny Canero is still in the pits as well. So Hignett is able to get past Herbitron, and in the meantime Perkins does as well, and Hignett will be looking to make easy work of Perkins. I shouldn't say that, he's obviously the faster of the 2 drivers. Max Ricker, what's happened, Max? So I saw his name falling down the leaderboard, and I think this is up through turn 5 onto the Rahal straight. Oh, he just runs wide. And, he was almost able to keep that going in the right direction. He does relatively well with that. Makes a little bit of contact with the wall. Wasn't too hard of a hit, but that has dropped him down into 4th position. He's got Paul Russell there as well. That looks like it's a bit of damage to the McLaren, you can see just there. So that's never a good sign when the front... the bonnet, engine cover, whatever you want. This would be boot in this case for the McLaren. So he's got the Valvoline Porsche of Paul Russell all over the back of him right now. So yeah, Max Ricker just making a little mistake there. Was almost able to gather it up. That was the 666 Matt Frost. Just getting the back end of the BMW to dance around a little bit there. So Paul Russell trying to take this opportunity after 5th on the racetrack, but it ended up getting a podium post-race. Going to continue his strong start to the season. And then we got a nice little battle pack going on a little bit further afield as Paul Russell, we saw Pierre Reid get this move done earlier, and he is able to repeat the dose. So let's have a look at that again, shall we? Let's see if I can go from the proper camera angles this time. And there's Russell there getting the job done. Rickard tried to fight back, but that car is wounded right now, so he's just going to have to put up with that for the remainder of the race. Hignett has managed to get past Perkins, who now has to fend off Herbitron. So that's for the lead of the AM division. As I say that, that's Atron just falling off the circuit. Let's see what happened here. So they're going down through the corkscrew. That all looked nice and neat and tidy. And then it was here that he just came unstuck. Oh yeah, just ran a little bit wide and just understeered off the circuit there. So we go back to live images. There we go. And Fakeney and Masterson fighting it out. That's down in 15th and 16th position. So Neil Fakeney in the number 9 BMW taking that spot away from last week's AM class winner, Wally Masterson. Not looking like that way this evening though, unfortunately for him. So he is 4th in class right now and 16th outright at this stage. Here's the little group that I wanted to get to. Perkins, Hildebrand and Mack. They were just a little bit up the road from Herbitron. And Frost now making up ground on that wounded McLaren. So Max Ricker not having a good time of it right now. What did he do on the last lap around? A 23.770, 23.1 to Frost. So almost 7/10 the difference between Ricker and Frost. Yeah, that McLaren, that'd be a bit of a handful, I think. No on board. We can see if they can give us any more inside. It doesn't want to turn, does it? Meantime, understeer in that thing. So, potentially turning right would make sense because that's where he banged into the wall. Going alright through here. See how we navigate through the corkscrew though. It can be a little bit more challenging. Gravity doing the work a little bit for him there though. So he's got a right-hander coming up. And you see, yeah, that's where he's... It wasn't too bad. So he might be able to drive around it. I don't think it'll take Frost too long to cotton on. Hey, what happened there? Why have they done that? It's the second time he's done that tonight. With Max Ricker as Frost going around the outside into the hairpin. Frost is able, Ricker's able to defend him off momentarily, but Frost able to send it through. So nice work there from Matt Frost in the BMW. He now moves his way up into P5. So Ricker might be alright for now. He's got Jack Steele 15.5 seconds down the road with only 16.5 minutes left. He might be able to hang on to this P6. We'll have to... I'll keep an eye on that for you. In the meantime, Frost will hunt down Paul Russell. So 2.7 seconds up the road. Last lap around, Paul Russell did a 23.3. Frost did a 23.5, so a couple of tenths to the better for Paul Russell on that previous lap. So that'll put him in good stead to hold on to that P4. He's 8 seconds away from Mitch Hayes, who's in that final podium position. And he's closing in on Terry Rayton, only 2.3 seconds the gap between Rayton and Hayes. In the meantime, though, Andrew Lawrenson is an absolute mile and a half ahead, almost half a lap at this stage. 25 seconds, maybe not half a lap, at least a quarter of it. 25 seconds the difference between he and Terry Rayton. So just once again, a class of his own. Was able to take advantage of some of the chaos there at the beginning of the race, but that's the advantage that you get when you're at the front of the field. You can avoid all of that stuff, and that's the position that he was in. So that's the advantage that you get. In the meantime, we're looking at Hildebrand and Max. So Hildebrand's managed to get back to where he started. That's in 11th place, as has James Mack. He started 19th position. He's looking to make it 11th. They go side by side out of the hairpin. It's going to be a drag. Lamborghini versus Porsche. Lamborghini wins out for now. But Mack is definitely not done with this, as we're into the final quarter of this race. Hildebrand. We saw him have a little accident in qualifying as well. Let's see what happens here. Where did it go wrong for him? Did I get a little bit of dirt on the tyres? I don't think so. Oh, just the back end wanting to step out there, and the main thing is he's kept it off the wall. So that's a good start, and now finds himself in 14th position. And that's our race leader coming through, Andrew Lawrenson. Should put him on the screen, eh? He is leading the race, and the thing is, he's just been in a class of his own this evening, so we haven't really seen him racing anyone. Doing a fantastic job. Last lap around, a 22.527. What was the race qualifying? A 21.905. So 6 tenths off what we saw in qualifying for Andrew Lawrenson at this stage of the race, with 13.5 minutes remaining. He is our race leader. Terry Rayton down there in P2, 25 seconds away, so a massive gap between first and second. He's got a healthy gap between he and Mitch Hayes, having a good run. Mitch Hayes, he started in 7th position, so he's up 4 in P3, looking good at the moment. Let's see what lap time he does this trip around. 24.282, so quite a bit slow. He did a 23.8 on the previous lap. He's got plenty of battle scars on that car as well. Not too sure how old they are, but he'll be looking to just try and hold on to P3. Paul Russell, he's 5.7 seconds down the road. He was 4/10 faster on that he was 1.4 seconds faster on that previous lap. So a 22.8 compared to a 24.3. So big advantage there for Russell. We'll see if he can chew into some of that more, because there's only 12 minutes 20 seconds left, so not a lot of time left to get this done. But Paul Russell has definitely got the carrot of a podium just dangling there for him at the moment. If you have a look at the track map on the top right, on the sort of the mid right hand corner of the screen, you can see the number 6 there with a little red dot. The dot just a little bit further down the road, the 176. That's the difference between the two. That's what about 5.5 seconds looks like. Difference between cars at the Laguna Seca circuit. It's been in some legal sort of... Oh, Ricker. So he's gone into the pits by the looks of it. No, he hasn't. He says he's only on one pit count, but the front of the car is all nice and neatly repaired now. What sort of lap was he doing? But it's not reflective in the handling of it, because he just did a 24.692 and he has only pitted once, so must be a bit of a glitch in the game. He would be hoping that it is handling like a normal car, but it doesn't look like it, judging from his lap times. Yeah, Laguna Seca, it's been... they've got some new neighbours in the area that are trying to basically get it shut down. They don't want motor racing in there anymore because it disturbs their peace when they've moved into that circuit's been there for a very long time. So a little bit of NIMBYism going on. It's a very nice part of America. I've been to this circuit. Been lucky enough to walk it. Didn't see any car racing, but lots of wineries up in that area. As we continue to have a look at James Mack hunting down Perkins, who is the AM class leader. I don't know why I'm so tired. What's happened to Mark Stevens? That's not good. Let's see if we can find out. Oh, that's the race leader as well, Andrew Lawrenson. So he gets through, and yeah, he just runs a little bit wide. That's Hildebrand and Fakeney heading through. No harm, no foul. And he's going to flick that around and get going again. Back to Mack and Perkins. Going side by side here into the Andretti hairpin. Mack doing the over-under there. Nice move from James Mack. I want to see that again. Let's go on board with him here. Some good driving from James Mack in the Porsche. Watch this. So Perkins goes defensive, runs a little bit deep. James Mack says thank you very much. I'll have a piece of that. And gets the job done. So nice work from James Mack. He now is in P11. He started in 19th position. So great drive from him so far this evening. Hasn't been without mistakes, but despite those, with less than 9 minutes to go, he's up there for a top 10 finish. So I think he'd be pretty happy with that, and probably do his confidence a world of good in that car as well. It can be quite intimidating driving the Porsche. I can't really speak from experience because I've never wanted to drive it, because it is quite intimidating. This is Hildebrand. What's happened here? That's Fakeney behind him. This is where we saw car go off earlier. We already have seen Fakeney. Oh, he's just hit that sausage curb. Once again, managed to keep it off the wall and keep it going. So He's had plenty of screen time tonight, though, as Chris Hildebrandt. Giving that livery a good showing. Down there in 14th position is Perkins. So he's our AM class leader. Less than 8 minutes remaining, so we're coming down to the dying stages of this one. Lee Perkins, where did you start? 16th position. So up 5 spots into 11th and leading the class. 5.8 seconds is the gap between he and Herbertron, who's P2 in class. So he's got to survive this next 7.5 minutes. Lee Perkins, after finishing Lee Perkins, where were you last week? Third in silver, or no, he was in AM. Sorry, yeah, he was in AM. I've got my book, my notepad is around the wrong way. I've written silver where AM was supposed to be, and vice versa. So I've got that corrected now, so I won't confuse myself or the viewers. 1.1 seconds the gap between Russell and Frost. The gap between Frost and Hayes has come down slightly, now at 4.4 seconds. So the hunt for a podium is not coming to fruition so far. Last lap around, 23.262 to Russell, a 23.270 to Hayes. So not enough there to get him up there in the podium chance. So I think for now Russell's going to have to just do some defending and try and hold on to that P4 from a relatively hard charging Matt Frost, who once again he's had a very typical Matt Frost kind of race where he's very workmanlike, he just gets the job done, doesn't often make mistakes, usually at the front half of the field, and you can often see him getting some top 5 results, podiums every now and then as well for Matt Frost. So a typical 666 drive from him so far this evening. He'll be hoping to make it into P4. It's always sort of finishing 4's always a bit of a funny one, isn't it? It's like kissing your sister. It's like I just missed out on the podium. And last lap around, 23.262 to Russell, 22.797 to Frost. So the gap is about 8 tenths right now. The pressure is going to be on poor Russell. He's got 5 minutes to bring this home. Hold on to that 4th position. Frost is going to give it everything. See if there's any kind of difference in tyre life. Not much. About 1.5 minutes was the difference in time in terms of pit stops and tyre life. So no massive advantage one way or the other. It's going to be a straight fight. Probably the closest 2 cars that we do have on circuit right now. We've got a scrap going on for Mark Hurley and Lewin. That's down in 18th and 20th, 18th and 19th. And my time screen isn't up to date, so Mark Hurley just letting some cars through. Not being a great race for him. He started in 14th position, so he is unfortunately headed south, and not great for him. We'll just put this one in the bin and head on to the next race, which I think we're at Budapest next week. I think we are. It's a very European-centric season of the 9 races. I think 7 of them are there, and 2 in North America. So the league trying to be a bit more virtually sustainable, less transatlantic racing, or virtually, of course. So Frost and Russell not really closing that gap under 8 tenths of a second. So Russell's got a little bit of traffic here to deal with. I think that's Luen just getting out of the way. Looked like Russell was trying to pick up a little bit of a tow from the Ferrari. You see the blue flags waving, and Lewin manages to get out of the way without any dramas. So good driving to him 3 minutes remaining in this one. So Lawrenson, almost 30 seconds the difference between P1 and P2. Rayton in second. Hayes 9.5 seconds down the road. And then these guys, that 2.2 seconds now from Hayes. So they've closed up significantly in the last couple of laps. I think it's been about a couple of seconds, the difference. What's happened to James Mack? He was having a good run. Now he's got Herbertron to contend with here. And who's that in the back? There's our race leader, it is. That's Lawrenson coming through. So what happened to James Mack? He'd have a little bit of an issue there. He's dropped down into P11. And that's our race leader. So we know he's not on the final lap because we would have got a... nice work. Good driving there from Herbertron. Leading the race leader through. So 1.8 seconds now is the gap. That's Hildebrandt. That's a lapped car between Russell and Hayes. So they're probably going to have another 2 laps to go at it here. Hayes, that lap around, did a 24.2. Russell did a 23.5. So did Frost. So 0.3 the difference in lap pace on that last lap around. You can see just there up ahead that red Ferrari. That's Mitch Hayes. And Paul Russell is going to give it his all right now. Hayes, can he hold on? Lawrenson's got this in the bag. Rayton's well at the hand as well. So third is the final podium spot still up for grabs right now. Hayes ran a little bit wide on the corner before, so he gets a little bit of dirt on the tyres. It doesn't do him any dramas. 1.4 seconds the gap now between Russell and Hayes. He's got about a lap and a half to go. Absolutely sending that Porsche now. There we go. Leader is on the final lap now as we're riding with Russell hunting down Hayes. So he's going to have one more lap to go at it. Hayes, can he hold on? Russell, can he close up enough to make a move? And Matt Frost, will he get a podium that will fall into his lap? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a great final lap between all 3 cars. See there, the 666 BMW, Matt Frost trying to continue to hunt down Russell as they embark on their final lap. Andrew Lawrenson is almost halfway through his final lap. I'll pick him up as he comes through the checkered flag, but this is definitely what we want to see here. The gap is at a second. Russell's going to have to absolutely give it everything he's absolutely got. Try and make a move stick here. Matt Frost is going to continue to pour the pressure on Russell as well. He wants to move up the standings. Lawrenson not too far away. About to come through the final quarter. Congratulations, Andrew Lawrenson. It's been a lights to flag victory. That's 2 for 2 to start the season. Congratulations. The 444 crosses the line and Andrew Lawrenson takes victory in round number 2 of the season. A pole to victory race. Congratulations. Was barely contested at all. Here is Hayes and Russell want to catch Terry Rayton coming across the line. Congratulations, Terry Rayton. P2, another laundry house. 1-2. Well done to those guys. Now Hayes, can he finally hold on? I think he can. He's going to come through the last corner. And Mitch Hayes is going to come home in P3. Congratulations to the number 176. Paul Russell and Matt Frost will finish 4th and 5th. Congratulations to those guys. Good hard racing all the way to the very end. Max Ricker, he is going to finish in P6 by the looks of things. Congratulations, Max Ricker. So it's a bit of a damage limitation scenario for him. James Pierre Reid, looks like he's going to be the next car to cross the line. Congratulations to Reid, Steele and Hignett. AM class leader is Lee Perkins. Congratulations to Lee Perkins. He is going to take victory for the AM class. And then the silver is Neil Fakney as well. So congratulations to Neil Fakney in P13 outright. But our race winner is Andrew Lawrenson. So that is the racing side of things done. Let me, I need to save that replay. Done. Alright, and we'll see if we can get these guys in. But congratulations to everyone. Let's see if I can get some post-race interviews sorted here. Where are we? Green room. Where is it? Here we go. All right, who are we looking for? Andrew Lawrenson. We're looking for Lee Perkins, and we're also looking for Neil Fakeney. If those three guys, if they're around, if they could jump in, that would be awesome. And we'll see if we can get some post-race interviews. But just reconfirming, so as Andrew Lawrenson took out the overall race victory, AM was Lee Perkins and silver was Neil Fakeney. Not 100% certain on that one, but nonetheless, we'll just go with it for now. Let me just quickly put something in the chat here. Winners. Alright, I've just put something in the chat. We'll see if anyone jumps in. Oh, here we go. Andrew Lawrenson is here. Got his volume up. Andrew, can you hear me?
Gotcha, mate. How are you?
Good. How are you? That looked pretty easy from... I'm not going to lie. It looked pretty easy from our point of view. How was it for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy at Monterey. Very technical place, but I was... had the luxury of time on account of, I think, something happened in the corkscrew on lap one.
It
behind
did.
me.
It did, yeah. So it all kind of kicked off back there. Hignett made a little bit of contact. Pierre Reed was involved. I think Vinny Canero as well. So I think after lap one, you had about a 10-second gap. So you were pretty much gone after that.
It's very kind of them. It made things a little less stressful.
Look, of all the people who need help, you're probably last on the list. So
I mean, I definitely need help, but tonight wasn't it.
Yeah, how'd you find it? It looked like it was pretty straightforward. But how was the Lamborghini around Laguna Seca? Because your race pace was really good. You did a 1:21. Yeah, you were the only driver in the 21s for qualifying, 21.905, and your pace was pretty consistent throughout as well. So how'd the Lamborghini hold up?
Yeah, it was nice. I like the track to begin with, but the Lambo felt similar to what the old Porsche did around there, where Sector 1's very on edge, just balance it right on the limit of grip through sort of turns 2, 3, and 4. But no, it was nice. It did what it needed to, rotated nicely on the curbs. It's a technical, fun little place with lots of corners where the apex doesn't really matter. Just get the thing around it, and you can use the apex to rotate the car, the apex curb and whatnot. But no, it was nice, quite enjoyable in the Lambo.
Well, congratulations! Another pole to flag victory, 2 for 2, and I think we're off to... Where are we off next week? I think we're off to Budapest.
Budapest.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Bit of Hungary is always a bit of fun.
Yeah, another very technical circuit. So
yeah, nice and frantic.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations. Well done. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man. Talk to you then, hopefully.
Cheers. See you, mate. Bye.
Yep.
All right, who else we got? We got Neil Fakeney in here. Neil Fakeney, are you there?
All right, mate. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me make sure you turned
Awesome.
up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're all turned up there. Awesome. Congratulations, silver class victory this evening. Awesome work from you. Adrian Rice he took round 1. You've taken round 2. You were second last week. Walk us through your race.
First of all, how? I mean, that was probably the worst start I've ever had in a race.
Mhm.
For the first few laps. I don't know how much you caught, but I found myself dodging cars unsuccessfully several times. Thought I was at the back of the pack, to be honest. I thought, oh, well, this is just going to be drive until I see what I can do. But apparently, no other silver drivers wanted to win either. So
Yeah, because
somehow I made it.
yeah, I'm not sure. I think Chris Hildebrandt was in the silver class lead for a while, but he had a few spins this evening.
Well,
So yeah,
yeah, I was chasing him, and I didn't know if it was for second or first or whatever. I just thought, oh, it's Chris. We're good mates. I'll have a crack. And he was pretty quick too, but he just made a mistake in front of me at that sausage curb before you go up the hill towards the corkscrew, and he shot off, and that was the end of that. Unlucky for him. We're having a good battle.
Yeah, well, a good race from you. I got a question.
Thank you.
The number 9. Why the number 9? Why do you have car number 9?
It's just been my favourite number since I was a kid for some reason. So
Okay.
I just tend to gravitate towards that when I can, and I grabbed it early here at Ruse, and so I've just kept it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. It's easily distinguishable. I always think of number 9 with you, so thought I'd ask that
Oh, good.
question. All right. Well, congratulations. You'll be up there in the silver class championship as well. Adrian Rice had probably a race to forget for him this evening, so he'll be.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. There was a big incident. You would have known there was a big incident. Lap 1 at the corkscrew, so I think he got a little bit caught up in that and a few other dramas along the way. So.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be tough. I mean, he's quick, and he seems to be getting it together in that Mustang. So, could be a tight fight, or he might just drive away with it. But I'll try and give him a run. And Chris is always there, and there's a couple of others who pop up. So we'll see what happens.
And what about how you finding the BMW over the Lamborghini? Because the last couple of seasons you're in the Lambo, well, for the GT3s anyway. How's the BMW compared?
It's nice. I mean, I used to love the Lambo. I really did. I did several seasons in it, but just the last season something changed, and I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't doing what I expected. I've never driven this one, so I thought I'd give it a crack. Me and Frosty, Matt Frost,
Yeah.
both chose it and thought we're good mates, so we'll just sort of help each other out with the setup. Not that we do a lot. But I enjoyed it. It's actually both rounds so far. It's felt reasonably responsive and doing what I want. So might be able to work with it.
Well, congratulations. It's working so far.
Cheers.
And good luck for next week.
Thanks very much, mate. Take it easy.
Thanks,
See you
Neil.
then. Bye.
All right. Last but certainly not least, it is our AM class winner, Lee Perkins. Are you there?
Yeah, mate. How you doing?
How are ya?
I'm alright. I'm good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Walk us through it. You were, Herpetron was leading the AM class for a big chunk of that race, and then I think you had Hignet come through there late in the race. He was a little bit faster than you guys. He was making his way back up through the field, and that was basically your opportunity to pounce, and you did.
Yeah, look, the tyres were alright. I was a bit unsure of whether or not to fit for tyres or just for fuel, but first couple of laps were a bit interesting. There were a lot of cars to avoid, so I sort of just did my best to avoid all that. But yeah, sort of was a bit of a longer first stint. Decided not to push too hard. Tyres came back pretty good towards the end, so I was able to sort of make up a bit of pace, and I think get close to Stevens towards the end of it, which was good. But pit stop, change of pressures a little bit on the left-hand side. That seemed to help, and I was able to push a bit more, so that was good.
Yeah, right. And how's the Ferrari going this? I think you're usually I think you've raced the last couple of seasons in the Ferrari as well.
Yeah, look, it's good. I enjoy it. It's a fun car. I seem to gravitate a bit more towards mid-engine cars. They seem to be a bit more manageable for me personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the setups are good. I enjoy the setups that I've got. I'm not doing too much to them. They're not mine, but they seem to work pretty well. But yeah, it's good. It's consistent. It's a nice car to sort of move consistently through the turns and that sort of thing without it being too unpredictable. So I enjoy that. It's good.
Yeah, nice. You do your own setups, or you get them from somewhere else?
No, just the go setups, but they're really good. Those I really enjoy them. They're quite stable. So just maybe a couple of changes here and there to a couple of minor things, but all in all, they're pretty good.
Nice. And so, how many times in your lifetime has someone asked, "Are you related to Larry Perkins?"
Quite often. Most going to do with motorsport.
Yeah.
I might be, but I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well,
It's possible.
let's leave it as unknown at this stage. So we'll leave a little bit of mystery about it. We won't rule it in or rule it out. We'll leave it floating there for now.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not a common name, is it? It's a legendary name in Australian motorsport. So
Yeah, it's a great name to have for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, wear it with
yeah.
pride, definitely.
yeah, definitely. Well, and you've got the initials for it as well, LP. So cool, man. Hey, well, nice to virtually meet you, and congratulations. You were third in class last week, so this will shoot you up the championship table as well, and I think we're getting ready for. Oh no, I think it's Snetterton next week. Hungary or Snetterton? I can't remember where we're going. We're going somewhere anyway. But congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Enjoy the broadcasts. They're always fun.
Cheers. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Cheers, you too. Thank you.
See ya. All right, everyone. I should probably try and find out where we are next round. Let me have a quick look before I sign off here. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. Thanks for joining us, and for the people that are watching on delay. We are going to be next week. I think it is Snetterton now, actually. Where are we? Races. Yeah, it is Snetterton. Yeah. So it is going to be another sprint race. So 60 minutes. And then Spa the week after that will be a 100-minute race as well. So looking forward to that. So hopefully you can join us for that next week as well on the Ruse TV channel. Thanks to Peter Wall in the chat. Adrian Rice was in there. Arthur Lawrenson, Tristo, Heather Russell, as always. Thanks to everyone. Paulie was in there as well. So thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you same time next week at Snetterton. My name's Nick. Have a great week. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.